We have some incredible panelists here today to talk and share all of the knowledge they have about mixing materials on home exteriors, the trends that are happening, how to work with your homeowner, and more. So let me walk through their bios. First, we have Wendy Brew. As Marketing Communications Manager, Wendy oversees the brand messaging for the growing composite roofing company's products and colors. Then we have Sarah LaGrasso. Sarah is the Director of Marketing and Product Design for Westlake Royal Stone Solutions with more than 15 years of experience in the manufactured stone veneer category. And then we have Chris Swint. And Chris is the Director of Marketing Communications at Westlake Royal Building Products and the Managing Editor of LiveAbode.com, Westlake Royal's exterior design inspiration blog. She serves as creative visionary and design lead at Westlake Royal. So welcome, you guys. I'm very excited about this panel. And so maybe let's start off and just talk about why we're having this panel. We do a lot of homeowner research at House, and we know that one of the things that homeowners really struggle with are some of the design decisions and, being able to see and understand what are the right choices for my home. So maybe we can talk, start with you, Chris, and talk a little bit about, what are you seeing in your research and why is this an important topic?
Sure. Honestly, for us, it is, for the homeowner especially, it's a try it before you buy it. So they really want to be able to see what their house is going to look like, right? So they want to be able to mix and match those textures, but they want to feel confident in the decisions that they're making too. So it's really hard for them to not be able to see it and then try to make a tens of $1,000s decision. So I think being able to visualize it and help them visualize that, what that experience is, and kind of help guide them, I think is really great in terms of getting that homeowner to start thinking more about design.
Sarah, you guys seeing the same thing in your areas?
Yeah, I think when a homeowner is considering that whole home facade, as people are looking to, invest a little bit more into their current property, we're seeing them wanting to, as you had mentioned, steer away from that cookie cutter kind of appearance and really start to create a more dynamic aesthetic, add more depth and dimension to their overall home facade. So we're absolutely starting to really see people get creative in the materials that they're choosing to use on a whole home facade.
And you guys seen that, contractors know how to talk about this, talk about the trends or be able to advise their customers on the right choices to make? I mean, what are you guys seeing?
Well, I think that's part of our job as the marketers, as helping give them the tools to speak to their customers, because we're trying to give them the confidence to make that big purchasing decision, right?
Yeah, and I think that too, being able to be that bridge between the contractor and the homeowner is really key to get them to not only help the homeowner feel confident in the decisions they're making, but also help the contractor have that design conversation. Because not a lot of times, contractor doesn't feel very comfortable doing it all the time, right? So, being able to kind of have that conversation and help guide that homeowner to the end result, I think is really important.
So I know we call this mixing materials, not just materials on home exteriors. So I'd love to hear a little bit about the trends that you guys are seeing and that you're recommending, in the materials that you're providing to contractors. What are some of the interesting products and where does the mixing come in?
But who wants to take the lead on that one? Anyone?
Go, Sarah. You go, Sarah.
So speaking from the stone side of the industry, we would love to see more home facades really consider stone, mixing with other materials such as wood, such as siding, such as metal. I mean, it really creates such a unique customization to your own home. And in terms of the styles that are out there, I mean, there are tons of opportunities that create very limitless design options out there for anyone. So we are seeing a mix of stone, metal, wood, kind of come together. And then you're starting to explore, unique color palettes that are making their way onto whole home facades in a variety of aspects in the home.
Wendy or Chris, comments?
I mean, we're offering just a magnitude of different roofing products, from our composite slate and shakes to the tile concrete tile, clay tile, and stone-coated steel. So there's just a plethora of different colors, textures, things that people can choose from within our offering. And giving them those options is just, and the different ways they can pair it with stone and with the siding products is something that we're focusing on, and being able to show how those things can come together and mix and match.
Yeah, especially with roofing. I think roofing is, sometimes people tend to forget about that, and it's such a key part of that color palette that you want to make sure that you're creating those same tones. So if it's a warmer tone, you want to make sure that, your siding, your stone, your trim, your shutters, if you choose it, the door, they all kind of play together. And the roofing part of it is such an important piece to that too, because that can also set, if you aren't changing your roof and you're doing a remodeling, or if you're set on a black roof, you want to make sure that all the other colors mix together with that.
Yeah, a roof can be 40% of your overall facade. And looking at that top-down approach is really important to see how it all comes together. Right.
And so where are those decisions happening? Do you find that, homeowners are coming with strong opinions about this, or they're looking to differentiate their home and so they bring on a contractor to do it, but they provide a lot of direction? Or do you see them coming and saying, I want my home not to look cookie cutter. Who can help me with this project?
Yeah, I would say, I think it's a mix. I think you have the homeowners who have a very strong opinion in their mind of what they want that home to look like. You have others who are, in the position of, I really don't know where to start, and I'm going to heavily rely on my contractor. And I hope you are prepared or, equipped to be able to help navigate me through the design decisions. So I think it is rather mixed in terms of, kind of who's leading who. But whoever is leading it, I think it's in terms of where to start also, as Wendy and Chris had mentioned, the roof is kind of one of the central focus areas to where you can start and work your way down. But you can also have something else that's driving a massive influence in the home, aesthetic and that may be the lead of where that takes you down your evolution journey for design.
And I think too, the style of the home is key too. So when you have bump outs and when you have dormers and those types of different elements, those could be great focal points to mix and match textures and colors and styles. But being able to help them visualize it, I think, is key as well. And making sure that they are making and confident in the decisions that they're making with their contractor.
So let's talk a little bit about the visualization. I know we talked about, where we spent a lot of time on that, providing tools in House Pro with the 3D models. And because we know, we surveyed homeowners, what's the one thing that would have most improved your renovation experience? And it fell into 3 buckets. 1 was communication, 2 was financial visibility, and the 3rd was better visualization. They want to see, right, what that outcome is going to be. So maybe Chris, talk a little bit about, what tools you provide, the pro community to help homeowners make those decisions. Or, yeah.
I'm going to pass it to Wendy and have her talk about immersive.
We just launched the immersive experience with Westlake Royal Building Products because we see this. We are experiencing this as we bring all of our products together and wanting to show homeowners, contractors, architects, how all these products can work together. So we've just launched an immersive experience allowing users to look at their roof, look at the siding, look at the stone, and change these out and see how they come together within a color scheme. So we're giving them a color palette, and there's 6 of them that they can walk through that they're able to use a white home, a dark home, whatever they're wanting for the different area of the country they're in as well. So focusing on the front of the house and on the back of the house.
You guys providing inspiration, I assume, on your sites as well and other ways, and obviously with your booth here to help kind of pros get educated. It seems to me there's, I hear oftentimes that a lot of contractors look for smaller projects in between the larger projects, right, to fill the gaps. These kinds of, curb appeal upgrades seem like a big opportunity. How can they get educated about, that as maybe a nice profit center between, jobs that are waiting for permits?
I mean, I think as you visit any of our websites, we've got plenty of information available out there to where, the improvement projects that you're working on your home specific to our products can help add value and help add, equity to the home that you're investing on. And there's plenty of options out there within our portfolio to be able to utilize and create these kind of remodeling projects that you can do in between, either new build or, larger remodel projects. So there definitely is tons of information out there on our websites that you can find out from a pro's perspective for how our products can help add value to your to-go homes.
And what are the trends that you're seeing, folks? So I know you talked about the mixed materials, but are there any specific trends, specific colors, or specific things that you're seeing right now?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Feel like I'm talking too much. I mean, if you look at some of the color of the years that have come out, I think from my perspective, we are starting to really see a shift from these, very cool and contemporary colors to where people are wanting to add back in some warmth and some character and not have it be as cool as it has been in the past. So at least within our kind of section, we are starting to see a lot more earthy and organic palettes kind of play into the mix. And we're seeing that be incorporated into so many different elements, such as, trim and gutters and, your handles and accessories, and even little quaint details that are starting to add a lot of dimension to your home from a color palette perspective.
Yeah, we're seeing that too, from a siding, trim, decking kind of perspective, where the homeowners are really starting to gravitate away from those really stark black and whites per se, and really embracing more of that really dark, rich hickory color and browns, and even some of the warmer gray tones. We're seeing a lot too.
So it seems like the exterior moves in many ways hand in hand with the interiors, because I think we're seeing very similar things on interiors, moving away from that kind of cooler color palettes to people searching for kind of a warmer, more comforting palette.
Right. More welcoming. And I think, one of the trends that we're seeing as we're heading into 2023, and maybe you guys have heard this term kind of come out more often, is biophilic design. People are talking about biophilic design and sensorial design. And this really is all about taking, Mother Nature and outdoor elements and really starting to consciously design your interiors with including natural and organic elements in the homes. And that has major health benefits from a physical aspect when you are surrounded by elements that echo Mother Nature. So I think you're seeing, whatever the design is on the exterior of the homes, I think you are seeing people start to really pull that into the interiors as well, and kind of keep that as a reflected material in the interiors of the homes as well.
How does that sort of biophilic approach, impact the exterior? So in terms of the products that you're developing, or just to tell a little bit more about, how that goes into your process.
The biophilic design is specific to the interiors, but I think if you are looking at your project and you are incorporating that theory at the beginning stage of your project, I think you are going to naturally echo that throughout your entire design. So as you start to think of, how does my light, filter through from my house? What are my, what is my vertical walls? What's their surface? What's their tactile nature of it? Are these, calming spaces? I think you will naturally start to see that not only influence the interior, but start to really influence the exterior. Maybe there are exterior spaces that they want to create, outdoor retreats. Maybe there are very welcoming spaces that they want to create on the front porch, that's what you are coming home to. It's all about having kind of a physical joy as a natural reaction to when you are coming home. So,
and I think too that taking that into interior versus exterior space and really creating that continuity between the inside to the outside is really truly important, especially when you see more people adding outdoor living spaces and things like that and carrying that theme through. So it feels like it's more of an extension of your home than versus just a deck or a patio room and those types of things.
So if you were, speaking to a contractor, what's one thing, I guess, from each of you that they probably don't know about your product area that they should know about your product area, or that you wish more of the industry knew about your product area?
I think really the tools that we have to offer them that they can work with their homeowners on, because we do with DaVinci have a lot of color ebooks, the color visualizer, and color education on our site that would help them work with their homeowner to make those selections and to really make a confident decision in their buying process. And I think for us, there's so much emphasis on the homeowner and the designer and the architect. And I think who gets overlooked is the pro, is the contractor sometimes. And one thing that, maybe not everybody knows is we have a fabulous technical team completely available at your fingertips that you can ask questions and you can, get up to speed with local building codes and what has changed, and really ensure that the installation that you guys are working on is tip top and will last you 50 plus years for your investment.
I think for me too is really being a focus of, we have everything that you need from a top down. So we have roofing, we have stone, we have siding, we have trim, we have column wraps, we've got window and door surrounds, we have decking. So it's really a nice way to tell that contractor or that pro, hey, guess what? You can get all of this from one company and feel and trust in the products that we have. And I think that is a really key importance because not only do we have exterior, but we also have interior as well. So, it kind of helps create that design aesthetic where they're taking that interior into the outside and vice versa.
So for architects and designers, because they'll be watching this as well, maybe talk a little bit more kind of about those resources, or they're going into the process. Is there an advantage? I guess you're saying that you have everything top to bottom, that there's color schemes that are already designed, right, to be aligned with each other, to coordinate well. Is that something that you are doing across the company? How should they think about those kind of product lines and,
Yeah, I think the immersive tool is a really perfect way to start that conversation, because we did curate these color palettes specifically with our products in mind, and really making sure that those colors and textures really created a beautiful exterior for the home. And there's 3 different home styles with 6 different palettes on each one. So even if you don't have a ranch style house per se, you can still take that palette and apply it to whatever house or project that you have.
Yeah, and we also have additional teams available, even for some of the tools that you guys have, Liza, that if there is someone that is interested in wanting to know, what does this roof look like with this siding comboed with this stone, or whatever type of, combination that they're looking for, we also have additional architectural tools that they can utilize in additional platforms or programs that they are working with, with other professionals, to be able to get an idea of what does this, collection of products look like together. Yeah. I think you ladies really covered everything you have there.
I didn't mean to speak for you, sorry.
Thank you.
Anything in particular that's brand new or exciting this year that folks should know about or take a look at, material-wise, or, maybe the green building-wise? Anything that you guys have on your agenda there?
Stone. Oh, sorry.
No.
Go. We are extremely proud and extremely excited to introduce. We have 3 new profiles and a variety of color palettes that have launched this year at IBS. So when you get a chance, we're just across the hall. We've got a whole product display for all of our new product introductions for 2023. Yeah, and for the roofing area, come check out our cool roof. And the visual back there is really nice, that you can see how all the different products act towards with the environment. And we also have a new slate line that you should come check out too.
For siding and trim, I think for us is still continuing that modern farmhouse trend where you're seeing a lot of vertical, a lot of board and batten. We actually are launching a aluminum siding board and batten, which has a really pretty wood texture to it that is absolutely gorgeous. And it is a great if you're doing a modern style home. We also have a wider board and batten that's at about 11 inches, which as these houses get bigger and people continue to do this modern farmhouse style, it really helps to create bigger, wider lines so that you don't have all of these vertical lines going, but it kind of gives it a little bit of breathing room too. So we're really excited about those.
Great. Guess, from a resource perspective or from an education perspective, it sounds like there's a lot that's digital and a lot online. Any other resources that folks can get locally? What's the best way for folks to feel and touch the products once they move from the design tools that are online?
Well, I can tell you that, you can order products, free cut pieces and samples from our websites that we ship all over the country. And I really encourage homeowners to really take those products outside, hold them up against their house, look at them in the light, look at them at a couple of different angles, couple of different times a day, depending on where your house is or how the sun hits it. Because I think it's really key. You could look at a little tiny swatch, but being able to have a bigger cut piece that you could really hold out and see what it's going to look like on the outside of your house or on the deck or in the trim is really going to be key to helping make that decision.
Yeah, and we also have a very large distribution network as well. So above and beyond just the samples, we highly suggest, get in touch with one of our distributors that are local to the area. They have these beautiful showrooms that you really can see a wide variety of product offerings that are there. A lot of them are actually here and they are, eager to, interact and engage with, clients on the ground and would love to be able to show them their product offering as well for what they're carrying.
I'm just going to reiterate the importance of ordering those products to look and take them outside, because it was so important to see the product in the different light and the different times of day and the different angles, because that can really change how that's going to appear in your exterior.
That seems like good advice then for whatever professional the homeowner is working with, right? Designer, architect, GC, even after they do their inspiration work online to figure out, to order those samples and make sure they're going to be happy with how it looks, right? In their lights in their home.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's ultimately our goal as well. So we want to make sure that we are arming you guys with as many tools and resources and touch points for you guys to ask questions, learn more, get educated. And you guys, it'll arm you with confidence knowing that your project is being completed, with the highest level of quality.
All right. I think we're good. Thank you guys so much. I think this was really enlightening.
Thank you, Liza.
Lots of opportunities. So wonderful. Everybody enjoy your show. And thank you so much.